This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace. Good morning. Hello, and welcome back to another spooky episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we're your hosts. I'm Alexis.
I'm Grace.
And Grace is helping us continue on our Halloween arc, where she reminded me we are now on episode 2.
Yes.
Of the Halloween arc, which may sound confusing to some people because I think we teed up me going this week.
Yeah, we usually go back and forth.
Yeah, but we're doing something crazy. I've got a 2-parter coming up in my next 2 episodes to end the arc, so I figured I would go 2 in a row, and Grace will go 2 in a row to start us. So work with us, guys, because
what was happening?
We're just 2 young ladies, just
trying to celebrate
getting
Halloween.
by. Just trying, exactly. We hope you're getting excited too.
Yes.
We're trying to do the thing, and we're hoping you are feeling the thing, the spooky and all that. So, yeah. So, Grace, spook us with a good old haunted tale. A haunted tale. Uh-oh. Oh, that's right. You did tell me which show this is coming from, so I've got a little bit of...
It's going to be spooky for sure.
Haunted and cursed as fuck. Got it.
Yes, indeed. Cool. So, yes, today... I'm bringing us back to one of our OGs, one of our favorites of all time. It is indeed Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Nice.
If you haven't watched Courage the Cowardly Dog before or listened to our arc, go back and listen to our entire Courage arc and probably like 12 of our holiday episodes. He's always popping up left, right, and center in our lives.
He's always on our mind.
Always on our mind. Courage, you're always on my mind.
Yeah.
Courage. And yes, the show, as Alexis alluded to, is always cursed and haunted and spooky as fuck. So, this is season 1, episode 5, but on Max, it's episode 11A. So, like, I don't know, sometimes like the streaming to original list, there's just
changes.
So I'm just telling you both. And there are 2 reasons that I think this is a Halloween episode, because again, Courage is always spooky.
Everything is Halloween, Courage. Yeah,
exactly. We force it, but it's also natural to always have to be Halloween. So I'll tell you about those factors when we get there. We'll call them factors.
Okay.
So
putting pins.
Pin, spooky pins.
Yes.
So we start out in the evening in Nowhere, Kansas, with the boys, Courage and Eustace, snoozing away in the living room. They've got the TV on. Classically, the TV in this animated show is always playing like a black and white horror film that like actually exists in the world.
Like real life too, though, like live action.
Yes. So some horror.
Creepy.
I know, it's so like disturbing. I'm always like, where did they get this?
The weirdest
film
shit.
From?
Yeah, it's like who thought of this? It's just a lot.
Film in the background.
Yes,
what the fuck is this?
Right? Oh my god, thank you. That's the word, literally. Which is very concerning. Anyways,
yes, exactly. So, I mean, they've seen this movie before. They're snoozing. Courage is curled up on a little rocking chair. Uses his chair. But meanwhile, Muriel is out in her garden, which made me laugh because in our Courage arc, we like constantly made fun of Eustace for like not being able to grow shit on his farm.
Yeah.
But I guess Muriel's good at it, so she'll agree with them.
Yeah. It's just you. It's not the land. It's Eustace. That's the problem.
You're the problem here. And so she's out there. She's got just like a little veggie garden, and she's harvesting some of those veggies when a little friend hops up. And it is a little bunny rabbit, like a cute little bunny.
Oh.
And by cute, I mean like here in radioactive Nowhere, Kansas, it's neon blue with bulging dark blue eyes and a huge pink puffy tail. But it's still kind of cute.
Adorable.
You look kind of
Yeah. I would get one.
Like not I'd get like a stuffed animal one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get a live
I would get one for my greatest enemy.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, I mean, it's cute for Nowhere, Kansas, where the standard is
super
nowhere to be seen. if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of super fun site shows. Mobile Mysteries, super fun
Yeah,
site
this.
here, super fun
Yeah. I
site. It's
think
a
something in
theme.
Powerpuff once had a super fun vibe.
Oh,
Powerpuff Girls, I forget, like the
yes.
glue
It was like
factory,
a,
or no, the
yeah,
radioactive glue, something like that.
yes. A glue
All types of
factory
stuff. I don't know.
explosion. I don't know,
Yeah,
it's
something like that.
everywhere. Call us the
Yeah,
Radium
super
Girls,
fun
you
all over the
know?
place. Yeah, cartoons. They're just like us. Call us
We
the
just,
Radium Girls. Oh
our
my God,
jaws
the
are
Radium
falling off.
Girls. Nice. Yeah. Hold that jaw in tight.
Oh,
It's all the
so,
rage. You look like a flapper girl working with the radium in the
look
lab.
your big cologne when you go to the
Yeah.
dance tonight for all those young
Look at you,
boys.
all these pretty young ladies getting jobs with the
Those teeth
radium.
are
It's all the
glowing.
hype.
Wow, they're working ladies, working gals. So another working
Uh,
gal, Mariel here.
yes, nice.
She loves animals. That's how she got courage.
Yes.
She stops to say hello to the little fella who's like, just squeaking around and kind of
Oh.
looking at what she's doing. And she realizes that she is actively at this moment harvesting some of her carrots that she has like in her basket.
Mm-hmm.
So of course she asks this sweet little bunny if it
Yeah.
wants any, and it's
Oh,
like it does.
okay.
It gets so happy. It's like wiggling its little butt.
Okay.
It's real happy for it. So
Yeah.
as Muriel turns around to rifle through her basket to find the perfect carrot for this cute, cute little bunny rabbit,
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't hear the ground beneath them rumbling and the rising of the ground as something seems to be getting closer, like the ground is getting closer and closer to her. And it looks like maybe like an underground trail, like when if you get like groundhogs in
Oh,
your
yeah.
backyard kind of
Yeah, like
thing.
the mound of dirt.
Yes.
And the
And
rabbit's still just chilling by her, fine?
um,
Or,
well, here's
okay,
what's
nice.
happening. Well,
Yeah.
first
Yeah, sorry.
is that one,
I'm invested in this
I
rabbit.
you should be invested in this rabbit. But
I
one,
should.
to even get a better picture of like what is, trailing through this like ground thing, maybe groundhog isn't the right word, but
A
maybe
mole.
think
Groundhogs do burrow too. My mom's backyard was torn the fuck up by some hogs.
wait, really quick, this has nothing to do with this episode. I forgot to tell you when we immediately logged on.
Oh,
About 18 seconds before you logged on, I was on our Saturday Morning Mysteries Instagram and said we had a new follower. And I was like, whomst is this? And I was like, why wasn't your mother following us yet? She just followed
Mom.
us. Steph?
Yeah, she just commented on one of our YouTube videos
Oliver?
too.
We're too avant-garde for you? You just
Where
now
you
followed
been?
us?
I'll be having a
I
word
thought
with
you
her.
loved us. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be having
Anyways,
a word with her. Wow.
good.
To
I'm
be
gonna text her
fair,
right now.
um, my mom didn't even know she had an Instagram.
I did briefly look. She has like 300 followers, no post.
And
It's
no
private,
post. I'm like, damn,
nothing.
mom, she has almost as many followers as me and no post or anything. She didn't even know she had one.
Gosh, she's
I was
so
like, wait.
fabulous.
I was like, but it is yours, right? She's like, yeah, that's mine. I set it up. I just forgot. I think Facebook just did it for me. I was like, God, I hate you, mom. I love you to death, obviously, but I was like, God, she's so popular and she doesn't even
God,
try.
Steph. I know
Steph,
she's no
she doesn't even
effort.
try.
So popular.
Accidentally creates an Instagram, has 0 posts,
Becomes
has
influencer.
300 followers. Yeah. Which like isn't a lot, but also it's like for someone who doesn't know they have one and who doesn't post, like
Pretty impressive.
fuck yeah. Love you,
Anyways,
mom.
that
Anyways.
happened moments
Yeah.
before we started. I
Glad she
forgot to
finally
mention
came
it.
around.
Yes.
She's binging us
God.
this morning because she just watched some of our videos on YouTube because she left comments. Like, okay, mom, she must miss me. I'll have to call her after we
I think this is your
record.
sign to call your mother.
So I think so. Okay, mom, we hear you.
Sorry,
I think she wants
Mom.
you to call her Grace.
She's like, I just saw Alexis. I gotta get on Grace's good side, which you already are, obviously, all the time.
Obviously, yes.
Wow,
Anyways.
incredible. So, anyways, what I would equate this to, perhaps, probably in no surprise, not just I would. So, what I'm going to equate it to isn't just because of this dirt mound, but this dirt mound. It's really giving Shai Hulud. It's giving Sandworm from Dune.
Okay,
Even
nice.
more so because
Yeah.
suddenly the ground behind Muriel opens up and all we see is circular rows and rows and rows of teeth launch out from the ground and snatch the bunny in one bite and then disappear beneath the surface.
Oh, shite. Whoa.
So
Huh? I didn't know there was a sandworm episode.
yes.
At least not how
So
Gabe. Although no, that rabbit was not. At least not how Gabe.
No, that rabbit was that was not.
I don't even know who.
Yeah, that's a Harkonnen for sure. That bunny.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Anyway, although no, I like the bunny.
Courage is Lisa Al-Gaib.
Facts. This is indisputable.
In the giant hood. I am
brooding out.
Atreides.
Sandwalking.
Duke. But he takes the hood off. Kansas.
He takes the hood off and does that weird courage, like weird laughter, kooky teeth. Yeah.
I'd pay money for this remake.
Absolutely. Get Dennis Villeneuve on the phone right now.
Call him. Get him on the horn. Yeah. So that's all we saw of this creature, though, was like the teeth rising from the sandy, dusty plains and grabbing this bunny. And when Muriel turns around, all that's left is a hole in the ground. And she does kind of lean down towards it, which I will say bunnies they can burrow. So she's like holding a carrot down to be like, it's okay, buddy. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to scare you. She didn't hear it. She didn't hear a single thing.
Okay.
Yeah. The bunny didn't scream. That's how quick Shai-Hulud is. Yeah. Classic Muriel.
Classic.
But yeah, so she's like holding down the carrot to be like, oh, come here. Like, come here, little guy. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But the bunny does not jump up to get the carrot or to jump out and run away because it obviously has been eaten at this point. Mm-hmm. But instead, we see those teeth yet again leap out and bite Muriel's hand. And we see, though, what it is this time. It's small, got gray fur, like blood red eyes, really, really sharp teeth. And honestly, it just kind of looks like a rabid mole. Like, it looks like this is just like a crazed mole who has rabies.
Oh my God. Sorry. Okay. I memory hole opened. I don't remember what happens in this episode, but I know exactly the monster you're talking about right now.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Earlier when you were like, oh, a mole instead. And I was like, no, a sandworm.
No, not that.
Not yet, Alexis. That's not what the big reveal is yet.
Well, because I was expecting the rabbit to be the monster, honestly. So I was like, I was trying to just parallel. Yes, you got me. I guess blue rabbits are common in nowhere after all, like you said.
It was snacked on. That blue little rabbit we were attached to.
Gone.
Dead. Absolutely dead.
And I was expecting the mouth that ate that rabbit to be way bigger.
Nope.
Not just like the size of the rabbit. Wow. Okay, man. Ooh, I gotta rewatch this one. Okay. This is bringing back some memories.
Yep. So Muriel shakes off the creature. Like, it's like actively like chomping on her. And she really got to shake it off, which it kind of flies off and burrows back down. But,
oh God, that's gross.
Yeah, it was real gross. And like, she does think it was rabid. So they do go to the doctor, which is like what you should do when you get bitten by a wild animal, to be like,
is it Dr. Vindaloo?
It is. No. My next line. So they go to see Nowhere's doctor, Dr. Vindaloo.
Yes.
Who means well and is technically an MD, but is always way too casual about very serious injuries. So yes, you're right. Yes, it's him, and yes, it's going to go bad.
Nice. We already know.
So this is the town doctor. Like I just said, he is real casual, which I guess when you live in a town full of radioactivity, you see a lot of, again, we just said radium girls' jaws falling off. He's like, you got bitten by a mole? Tell me when you start disintegrating from the inside out, okay? Then call me.
Get in line.
Yeah. Exactly. The line basically looks like the waiting room in Beetlejuice.
Yes. Arms like off. Someone holding their own head. Yeah. Amazing.
And first of all, before we go and hang out with Dr. Vindaloo, this has nothing to do with the plot either, but in the doctor's office, Courage has on a purple collar and a leash. And I don't know why. Oh. It was like, this is the only scene in which I've ever seen him have a collar or a leash on. Maybe it's because they went into a doctor's office, but like, he goes in all the time.
Yeah. I feel like when he's with them, with Muriel and Eustace, maybe they have him on a leash. But if he goes places by himself, because he can do that and he can drive,
I guess that's why I was like so shocked. I was like,
yeah,
he probably broke them there.
In a way, it's like I feel like I've seen him in a leash, but I can't point where it is, so maybe I'm retconning it in my head.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yes,
Anyways,
no, of course. Interesting
it
though.
was it
Okay.
was really
Purple.
random
That
and
doesn't
has
seem like his
nothing.
color. He's already purple, so I feel like he
Yeah,
would wear a different
it's
color
too
to like,
much. Yeah,
yeah,
too
you
much
know?
purple.
Yeah, but okay.
So yeah, that happens, but it has
Oh,
nothing to
cute
do with
courage.
anything. Yes, it was cute.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so Dr. Vindaloo looks at Muriel and just tells her to keep soaking her hand and icing her hand, and like the swelling will go down. Like
Mm.
as per usual, like it's not really anything to worry about. You don't have rabies, you're chill. And then we see
Mm.
Muriel's hand, and like, you know what? You like blow up a rubber glove. It's like
Yeah.
that, but like 18 times the size. It's like that, like roundness of a blown up rubber glove and huge.
Oh Lord. Is it like as big as her, basically?
I
Like,
don't quite
or
remember.
like
It's definitely not as big
close?
as her, but it's definitely like
It's too big.
this is not physically possible. This should be looked at. This
Cool.
might be an amputation situation.
And the doctor's just like, yeah, 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 put it on ice.
Yeah, rice, rest, ice, compression, elevation, you're good. Let's go.
Yes.
Classic basics here. Um, but what Muriel is mainly worried about at this point is all the trouble she caused to that she went all the way out to the doctor for him to tell her this. Eustace is,
Mhm.
of course, being a jackass like usual and is like, well, then you shouldn't have gotten bit,
Okay.
Muriel. Yeah. So that's a very grim scene, actually, momentarily, of her feeling bad about it due to, their horrible,
Yeah.
horrible abusive relationship.
Relationship. Yeah.
But
Yikes.
we'll breeze over that because
Yeah.
then
Fuck you,
that home,
Eustace.
I mean, truly throughout this.
Hmm.
So they head home. There's a big old full moon out above the farm that night. And Courage and Eustace are again watching some TV while Muriel is in the kitchen doing what she's told. She's soaking the hand in the sink in some, like,
Oh,
cold water and that kind of stuff.
yeah.
And she pulls it out of the sink and it's back to normal. So,
Hmm.
like, Dr.
Okay,
Vindaloo
Dr.
was,
Vindaloo.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe right for once to be like, look, call me when it's exploding. Swollen hand, the size of almost you. Not
Call
impressive.
me when the boils on it start talking to you as if
Yeah.
they are
The
possessed ghosts
growths
of.
become
Yeah.
sentient.
Yeah. Ugh.
But as Muriel is standing there again, like looking at her hand, she's putting it back in the sink, just for a little longer, just, make sure the swelling's totally gone. And so
Yeah.
she's looking out the window and she notices the full moon and it's beautiful. As she's standing there, she starts sweating a little bit, like, she's maybe getting a
Hmm.
little sick or something from this swollen hand infection situation.
Yeah.
And she really starts,
Uh,
seems like she's getting like a headache. With her other hand, she's like rubbing her temples and like
ooh.
really starting to not feel good. And she
Uh-oh.
starts shaking a little bit. And we hear like a
Oh.
couple groans of pain getting louder
Okay.
and louder. She's kind of like holding, like crooning over a little bit as if like something's happening in her stomach. And
Yeah.
in the living room, Eustace, of course, is fucking refusing to go do anything. And so he tells
Classic.
Courage to go check on Muriel and also to tell her to hurry up so she doesn't miss her favorite part of the TV show.
Oh, that's nice. I thought he was going
So,
to say hurry up and finish dinner or
I
something.
think her
It's probably
finishing,
in there somewhere.
yeah, yeah, her coming out to watch the TV is to bring dinner out as
Dinner
well with
and
them.
gotcha. Great.
Probably.
Well,
Yeah, you're not wrong, I would say.
okay.
Always assume the worst with Eustace.
With
You'll be
Eustace,
correct.
yep.
So Courage hops off the chair and heads into the kitchen. And when he opens the door, he's a little taken aback because, like I said, Muriel is like crooned over and stuff. And her
Ooh.
back's turned towards the door, but she's like fully hunched over, like almost like squatting. And so he's
Oh,
like, she seems to be not
not
feeling
great.
very good. I need a doctor again here.
Yeah.
And so he like kind of makes a noise to call her name. And she turns around and we see that she's actually eating Courage's food from his dog bowl.
Uh,
Well, eating is like
Quoi?
an under quoi? Eating,
And pourquoi?
pourquoi,
What?
pourquoi?
Okay.
Eating might be an understatement. She's more like fully devouring it and glaring and snarling at Courage for disturbing her. And Courage is obviously screaming at this point.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And her snarl turns into a roar. And we notice that now she has rows and rows of very, 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 very sharp teeth.
Okay.
And right then and there, Courage has a heart attack.
Oh,
Courage
boy
falls to the ground. And then we see him in an ambulance next to Dr. Vindaloo with an EKG and IVs.
Oh, poor Courage. Man, that's, I'm glad that they could get out there that quickly, honestly. Healthcare access in the middle of nowhere, literally,
Impressive.
is usually not that great. So,
nope.
Good for Dr. Vindaloo. Wow. Poor Courage.
I know.
He's like, and now where's Muriel in all this?
And now my dinner's gone.
Oh.
What am I going to eat now?
I'm hungry too.
But Courage, he rips off all the EKG stuff. He's fine. And he explains to Dr. Vindaloo, that what just happened, the fact that Muriel just turned rabid, ? And begs Dr. Vindaloo to come do a house call, come see her. And Vindaloo is like, I told you it's not a big deal. Like, you're fine. But Courage, he takes him hostage. He goes, let's go.
I was not expecting that.
He scoops him up and runs.
This gets frickin', what is it, John Q? Is that the movie with Denzel Washington? He I
don't know.
He becomes, unfortunately, a domestic terrorist. His son is sick and is in the hospital, and the doctors refuse to give him treatment or whatever because they don't have health insurance, and so he takes the whole building hostage or whatever, and it becomes this big fetch. Sorry, Courage, that you?
Courage? That's funny because when you did say, wow, I can't believe they got out there so fast, I was going to be like, wow, thank God Courage has insurance. So we're on the same page kind of here.
In ways, yes, exactly.
Yep. Yes. Man. So, yes, Courage kidnaps Dr. Vindaloo and brings him to their home, where they find Muriel in the living room watching TV. She's just in her rocking chair, squeaking away. We see her just rocking. And Dr. Vindaloo kind of slowly approaches and he's like, hi, Muriel. I'm here to check on you again. Your son says something's wrong with you, which is real cute because he does call Courage her son, which is
adorable, but also are you blind, bro?
I mean, he's not a good doctor. He could be.
I feel like that's the joke. He's like, yes, this human child just came here and whatever, but in reality, it's like a Zoidberg moment. The nose is on the back or something, right?
Exactly. Just no idea what's happening. Yeah. He simply got a stethoscope and a lab coat, and they were like, I guess you're the doctor in this town.
Doctor? Oh,
well, we got a couple people we need to come see. Have you treated radium burns before?
An operation. Yeah.
Yeah, an operation room. Here's a scalpel. And Muriel turns around. We were approaching her from behind. We're feeling a little nervous, but she looks totally normal. And she does her oh shush kind of thing because her show's on. It is her favorite part. And so Vindaloo at this point is like, you kidnapped me for this. Yeah, she's fine, but I guess I'm here. I guess I'll check on her. So he gets out, a tongue decompressor or whatever, aka popsicle stick, and tells her to go, they got to check in the throat. He's got his little light. And so, she does. She turns to him, she opens her mouth, sticks her tongue out, puts the, compressor, decompressor, whatever it is on, says, only her version of is more like because her
I was ready for you to make a wild noise, but that I couldn't prepare enough for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I imagine Justin's downstairs at your place now, what the fuck was that?
He's like, oh no, she's talking to Bird, it's fine. This is normal.
Right.
Normal noises.
Classic weekend morning thing.
Yeah. Exactly. He's like, yeah. And she makes that noise because her jaw completely unhinges to reveal again more rows of teeth, and she completely chomps down entirely on Vindaloo.
Oh my God.
Like, eating half of his body, like head first.
What the fuck? Did she get bigger? Or no, just like her jaw just unhinged. Her jaw's that unhinged. Size.
And like, I guess her mouth gets bigger.
Her jaw just unhinged. Like,
yeah, I guess her cheeks stretch out in order to fit him. But yeah, she's just.
Is she the radium girl?
Yeah. Vindaloo's in there like, your jaw seems.
Your teeth are kind of falling out here.
Yeah, your jaw, there's just a lot of holes where your teeth should be. These infections aren't healing here.
Yikes.
So Courage is, of course, screaming, terrified. Yeah. Vindaloo, I will say, he's able to fight his way out. He's maybe poking some of those empty holes in sockets
on the way.
Yeah, on the way out. But at this point, no, you're correct that now Muriel starts to transform a little bit.
Okay.
Mainly, she doesn't necessarily get like way bigger, but her hair starts like, I don't know, like almost coming alive and like starting to flow like crazy. She's roaring even more. Her arms are turning pretty fuzzy. And her hands are kind of turning into paws, if you will. And she, like some other creature, perhaps that we've seen, starts digging a hole right into their basement.
Oh my God. Oh, not that basement. That basement full of horrors.
The basement of horrors. And she jumps down in there. And Courage pauses for a second, being like, okay, well, something's obviously wrong, but at least she's gone right now. We can figure this out. But then she pops right back out. Her hair has now turned like fiery red. It's even crazier and moving around. She's, again, screaming her little head off.
Oh.
Courage is so scared that he literally jumps through the ceiling, right where, to Eustace, is just taking a bath upstairs. He's heard all of this. I was
wondering, by the way. I was like, where's Eustace at?
But like Justin, used to the crazy noises that happen when we record, Eustace used to crazy noises throughout this town.
Anywhere in the house. Yeah, nowhere.
Unbothered.
True. Good point. Yeah.
Courage
like, this is
of course.
Time.
Yeah, it was like, I put the do not disturb on the door. Why did you come through the floor? This is disrespectful. But Courage, is doing his like yammering, trying to explain. Eustace just yells at him. It's literally being like, this is my alone time, GTFO.
Okay. Nice.
So Courage is like, okay, bye, and runs out the door. He says, okay, bye, because behind him through the hole he already caused in the bathroom floor upstairs, Muriel pops up that hole and screaming and is now chomping at Eustace, who...
Oh, great.
I will say he's more annoyed than he is scared.
Oh.
He's just like, all I ask for is these 45 minutes,
I just wanted a nice bath, a bubble bath. Yeah, after a day of not farming and sitting on the couch all day watching
After
TV.
A day of being a piece of shit and not doing shit.
I don't want to smell like a piece of shit. I gotta
clean up.
Bathe.
This is the one nice thing I do for you guys is I bathe. You're welcome.
You're very welcome.
So Courage runs
fighting at Eustace in the tub.
Chomping. Yeah, but he's able to get away. He does run out.
Oh, good. Okay.
I mean, good. Whatever.
He's accepting it. Yeah, true. I would prefer he didn't get away, but I thought he was just going to accept it. Like, yeah, whatever. The wife is not in a good mood tonight.
What, did you burn the pot roast?
Oh, God, that is exactly what he would say.
That's why he's annoyed, because he's like, now what are we going to do for dinner? That's why he walks out.
Yeah.
So Courage, runs back downstairs, where again, Vindaloo was able to escape Muriel's literal jaws of death. And he sees that Vindaloo is like hiding behind the couch. But unfortunately, this time, Muriel decides to finish the job. She snatches him by, again, biting down head first. And then we see her rip him down, a la like a shark going back beneath the water, into the terrifying cellar, which we hear the echoing of screaming and then silence. So...
Have you seen the movie Deep Blue Sea with Samuel L. Jackson?
No. Oh, I know the scene, though.
Okay.
I know the fucking scene,
literally all I can imagine right now. Okay.
But he wasn't giving an inspirational speech.
I was
the same vibe of like out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then
Spoiler,
just being
sorry.
dragged in. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
whatever.
That's
Even
one of the biggest like jump scares I've ever seen because it
of
just came out
any
of
film.
nowhere. Yeah,
Yeah,
literally. Not even that scary of a movie, but I'm just like,
just
what
like,
the
what the
fuck
fuck?
happened? Ah,
Exactly.
poor Vindaloo. Oh well.
Yep. R.I.P. I guess.
Mm,
So at this point, Eustace does come downstairs, probably because of the screaming of Vindaloo, and he's like, "That's
yeah.
not the normal household screaming. Who is that?"
Yeah.
But again, Vindaloo's he's fucking gone. So there's lots of destruction though. Like furniture's overturned. There's a hole in the floor leading down to the
Holes.
basement. And Eustace is like, looks like we got a mouse problem. Got to go get my mallet to take care of it. So,
It's always the mallet. Mm.
that's
Can you imagine him just like running through the house chasing after
just
mice?
causing more destruction.
Yeah.
Like, buy a
Okay,
fucking
useless.
cat. Take care of
Yeah.
it.
I'm
Easy.
sure Courage and the cat would. Oh no, Courage and cats don't get along
Oh,
typically, based
yeah.
on
All
Cats
of
the
the history.
villain.
Yeah,
But
exactly. Oh
yeah,
my
based on
God.
all of history.
That guy. So, anyways, yeah, Eustace goes to find that.
Mm,
Encourage, who at this point, he's like, okay, Muriel's not jumping back up. She's, I guess, eating Dr. Vindaloo. It's a little quiet. I'm pretty sure we've had mice problems before. This isn't giving mouse. So he runs up to the handy
yeah.
dandy, always sassy computer upstairs in the attic to do some research.
Okay.
So after some classic banter between, Courage and the computer, Courage
Hmm.
just type in all of Muriel's symptoms and everything that happened. And the computer responds with, what you've got here is a weremole. So, yes, a
The
werewolf, we have a weremole.
weremole.
The
Nice.
weremole.
Ugh.
Courage gasps as it, yes, goes on to explain that a weremole comes out in the full moon and has a particular taste for rabbits and humans. And
Oh,
classically,
diverse taste. Nice.
yes, very
Okay.
specific though.
Diverse palate. Yeah, true.
And notably, if you get bitten by one, instead of, I guess, just eating like that rabbit did, you become one
Mm,
yourself.
mm,
And this,
okay.
Alexis, is the first reason that this is a Halloween episode today,
Yes.
because we are going to pause here to talk about a spooky paranormal creature that somehow we haven't really gone in depth with in this show before,
Yeah.
which is crazy, the werewolf. So,
Yeah. Yay. Tell me
as usual,
everything.
well, I'll tell you about the Wikipedia page because y'all
Tell
know.
me some things.
I'll tell you what I have decided to tell you on
Cool.
Wikipedia.
I accept that.
Thank you. Great. So, yes, obviously, I just picked and pulled from Wikipedia. I obviously have left out various points of lore that some of you listeners who are more hardcore into the lore of this stuff will probably know and be screaming. But whatever. I just went with what was interesting to me and fun. So here's what
Yeah.
I got for you. So, as
Yeah.
we probably know, I assume you know, the basic concept of a werewolf is a human who transforms into a wolf-like creature on purpose or due to a curse or like an affliction. Sometimes that affliction can be called like lycanthropy, which for some reason I always struggle to say. I don't know what it is about that word, but lycanthropy,
Hmm.
that's sometimes what being like a werewolf is called when it's
Yeah.
a
The
sickness.
process of changing.
Yes, exactly. And as it turns out, like most things, the history of where this supernatural idea came from is obviously very complicated. Even like the lore of what werewolves look like or how you become a werewolf varies from culture to culture. So, like,
Hmm.
I was first aware of the like, it's a human who transforms into a big scary wolf. And if you get bitten by a wolf, then you become one. At a full moon, you get transformed into it for one night. You wreak havoc. In the morning, you're back to yourself. You don't have any memory of it.
Amnesia. Yeah.
Amnesia, bada bing, bada boom.
You
But
feel weird
throughout,
though.
yeah,
Oddly
sometimes a little
full.
if you want to howl a little bit more, yeah, your
Yeah.
tummy might hurt a little
Your
bit.
mouth tastes like iron for some
You got
reason. It's weird.
fleas probably, but like,
Yeah.
amnesia. You just get a
Yeah.
blackout one night, I
It's a
guess.
wild night.
We've all
Yeah.
had a weird blackout experience. Not all, but
Yeah, a lot
some
of
things we
us.
regret. Yeah.
Yes.
But throughout various cultures, again, what a werewolf is varies a lot. So it can be temporary, it could be permanent transformation. It can be just a soul making the transformation. It can look like a regular wolf that just has no tail. It can, but with human eyes. So just like a dog with no tail, basically.
Whoa.
I know.
That sounds creepy.
But the human eyes part. Yeah, it could look like a wolf, but only runs on 3 legs in some cultures. Which, yeah, I had
it only has before. 3 legs, or just one leg stays up?
I think it just runs on. I think like one leg stays up, and that's how like you can tell it's a werewolf, but still looks like a normal wolf.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, just like a little tripod. Huh. You can become a werewolf from being bitten, from using a magic like salve to transform you. You can drink a specific drink with an incantation on it, or you can become one by divine punishment.
God, there's a whole lot of ways.
Yeah, it is. You can stumble into being a werewolf.
Totally on accident.
Throw a pebble.
I accidentally say incantations all the time. I mean, what?
I constantly drink mystery things. I don't know what it's
going to be. And I can always see the full moon from outside of my window. So I'm just going to never leave my apartment again.
You know what? One of the weirdest things about one of our dogs, Mako, for those who watch on YouTube, he's usually the one in the back corner, the white one with the brown butt.
The white one,
yeah, really funny things about him is he has like very piercing, aggressive eyes that like sometimes look human-y. So like, I don't know, the jury's he still has a tail though, but
yeah,
we usually think he's an alien, but you never know. He's got some creepy ass eyes.
Yeah.
So tales of werewolves can be found far and wide. But this is something I did not know, and somewhat ties back actually into my last Mobile Mysteries episode to start off this Halloween arc, is that sometimes claims of being a werewolf were included in various witch trials in Europe and in the US.
Oh, wow. Oh,
yes. This
interesting.
It seems to be what like I kind of deduced was that supernatural connection that werewolves have. And of course, classically, the Christian church trying to find something to blame or finding someone to blame something on. So let's say someone's cattle keep getting eaten, even though they prayed to this brand new Jesus guy we've never heard of. And in reality, like it's probably just a bunch of wolves are eating their cows, but Jesus is supposed to save them. So instead the church was like, well, no, your prayers worked. And it wasn't wolves who ate them. It was actually someone
it was like something demonic or something. Yeah.
Someone made a deal with a demon and became a werewolf. That's literally my line.
Wow.
Yep. Always pulling in the demons. Demons getting a bad name because of the Christian church, the Catholic church here.
They're just trying to get by.
We eat burgers. Who are these demons, you know?
We're all demons, some of them are vegetarians too. We're all demons. Exactly. We're all our own personal demons. What do you want us to do? Deep. Yeah, I know. Damn. No, let's not go there. Oh God. Anyways.
But also interestingly, it seems like we in the US and in Europe, like way back when, really focus on werewolves because wolves used to be the primary predator in the US and Europe. Like that was one of the biggest threats to people were wolves and like to livestock and stuff. But in some places in Africa, there were were-hyenas. There are were-tigers in India.
I was going to guess like lions and tigers.
Yep,
wow.
in South America.
God, a were-jaguar. No, thank you.
I know.
That would be terrible. Honestly, that's not fair.
The were-tiger and were-jaguar are especially scary. Big cats, one of my faves. But like, I do not want to be hunted by them.
Add the were to them.
It's all over. So it's been suggested that these primary predators could have basically like why, again, across different cultures, again, one of my favorite things in the world, similar lore kind of developing. And it could, just be like, these were our primary predators. And we just as humans projected our fears onto them and needed some reasoning for them. And created these folkloric beliefs. Sometimes things are so horrible they couldn't possibly like wrap their minds around.
Can't be real, or
what was actually happening.
It has to be a otherworldly supernatural explanation.
Something out of our control.
Yeah.
So, for example, perhaps these lithophantine how do I say it?
Lycanthropes.
Lycanthropic. Yes.
Okay.
Lycanthropic transformations can be found all over the world. But one idea that scholars have tossed around, again, of the like humans not being able to explain things or like, having the capacity to face the realities of things sometimes to, protect our psyche, a la us using humor, perhaps, is that werewolf legends could have been like a folkloric region or a folkloric reason to explain things such as multiple murderers / serial killers.
Mm-hmm.
Especially those who were cannibals. Because let's now talk about why this is our second reason this is a Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Because guess who started on a deep dive into a Wikipedia page about not just cannibalism, but people who were essentially burned at the stake for being werewolves who were actually probably serial killers. So,
there's a whole page on that, man.
There is more entries on this Wikipedia page than I thought there would be.
Wow. So niche. That's like
and probably
very
even
specific.
More that didn't make it to the Wikipedia page, I would say.
Yeah.
So, yes, the most notable examples were on Wikipedia were in Europe in the 1500s, which classic witch trial zone, classic.
Yeah.
Still,
where it all began.
Exactly. Still is, people were wilding out still during this time.
Oh, yeah.
So it also kind of reminds me of like both of these stories happened in Europe in the 1500s, which made me also be like, the fuck is in the water during this time? I mean, I guess a lot of shit, literally just.
I was going to say, literally feces.
And bodies and like,
yeah.
Everything was poison.
Every disease you could think of. I mean, that literally was like right before the plague, right?
A plague, exactly.
Yeah. So
they were eating the rats filled with plague, early days of plague.
And also like mercury, weren't they using mercury as like medicine back then?
Probably.
And like we're just like touching it, like, yeah, this is fine. Let me lick my fingers after touching this. And
we literally just talked about
Bray died from mercury.
Exactly. I say we literally just talked about the Radium Girls, which was like in the 1900s, and
like,
they were
wasn't that like the 40s or 30s or something?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
girls,
brush your teeth with it. Old. So if we were stupid less than 100 years ago, think how we were in the 1500s.
We were fucking morons back then.
Exactly. Barely had any brain cells.
Yeah.
So 2 highlighted examples we're going to go through. So the first is a French killer known as the Werewolf of Dole, and his name is Gilles Garnier. There's probably a French way to say it that I don't fucking know how to say. But are you thinking about how to say it?
Yeah, I was like trying to say it out loud. Like, I don't know unless I see it.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. He's super dead. So
yeah, and he was a werewolf probably.
And he's a werewolf. So this werewolf of Dole lived a pretty isolated life. And when several women in the town of Dole went missing or were found dead, the province assumed it was a werewolf. Because they like turned up in pretty bad shape. And again, they're like, why are suddenly these young women showing up dead? What could be the explanation for this? Probably a werewolf.
Yeah, duh, obviously.
Couldn't be a person. We haven't seen a pack of regular wolves, so I guess it's this. But one day, the townsfolk came across another actual person near the body, trigger warning for everyone, of a dead child. And in the dim light, it looked like, again, Gilles Garnier. So he was arrested. Like they went to his house and arrested him because he like obviously scurried when they came up. Yeah. And upon his arrest, he fully testified that, yes, he was the one in the forest that night hunting. Or actually, yes, he said, yes, I did all of this. But what happened was he one night was in the forest hunting, and a specter appeared and gave him an ointment that would change him into a wolf to make it easier to hunt. So, and then he was like, kind of, one thing led to another. You know how it goes. I started stalking and murdering people, including 4 children. And yeah, I ate various parts of them, including brought home to my family so
You
they
know
could
how it
also
goes.
eat. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
It's tough
again,
out here. It's
yeah, it's tough
blame the
out here.
specter. What's he doing out
Yeah,
selling
go find the
ointments to people? What the
specter.
hell? He's the real demon
Yeah,
villain.
come on. I was just out here
Oh
trying to feed
boy.
my family, and I guess what
Yeah,
I
I just
could.
wanted to hunt. I
I was
did.
able
I did
to.
myself too. Yeah,
Yeah, I
we
mean,
all
yeah,
ate.
it took
I ate a
multiple
lot.
children and some women, but like,
Yikes.
what wouldn't you do for your family? So, yeah, obviously he was found guilty of being a
Okay,
werewolf
good.
and thus
Yeah.
witchcraft, and thus was burnt at the stake. So,
Okay. I
yes,
was gonna
it's
say, like, I don't know, maybe he's innocent. It was so old, like so long ago. They didn't have lights everywhere. It was dark
no.
out the night, and they're like, yeah, he confessed. It's like, ah, damn, never mind. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
guilty as
yeah.
fuck.
And I
Okay.
think them being like,
He's
because you're a
insane.
werewolf, like I think he was like,
Yeah.
yes, I
Yeah. A werewolf.
was. What was that?
I
A
was
werewolf?
cursed. I
Yes, this
was
wasn't
cursed and am
my
not born with this absolutely insane
no. Tosses the
addiction to
bloody knife
human
away.
flesh. Yeah.
That
Yes.
was for cutting the meat for my family, not for stabbing. I used my claws to stab them because I'm a werewolf. Yes. So the next one is one of the more famous cases of this, and I had actually loosely heard of this one before,
Interesting.
featuring
I'm
the
intrigued.
werewolf of Bedburg, whose real name was Peter
Mm,
Stump. Although I will say
mm.
Stump, I think, is spelt in a couple different ways here and there. This is a German case, so sometimes I think it's like
Okay.
Stumpf or something like that.
Stoop.
Stumpf, Peter Stumpf? Not cute in German and,
Maybe.
with later hosen
No.
on. Not
He's
that
a
vibe.
werewolf. He's dangerous.
Oh, but look at his later hose and how harmful can he be? He just
Yeah.
wants some chocolate. So Stump was probably a Protestant farmer in rural Germany.
Mm.
And at growing, oh, I forgot this. So okay, here's the thing, is that this was in the 1500s. So like a written
Mm.
record is hard, although
Yes.
there was a pamphlet published in London about him that like describes his
Oh,
life, crimes, and trial.
he
Like
became well
shortly,
known.
yeah, it became well known. That's I think why it became really famous is it got into written record.
Yeah.
But the like discrepancy on his last name, Stump could just be the rewriting of it or like what they decided to call him, a la a bunch of bullies, because he lost his left hand at some point growing up, and so they called him Stump. But he's a bad
Oh,
person, so
okay. Yeah, but
I feel bad for the
was that
kid.
his villain origin story? I would hate people
Probably.
too if I don't know if I want to eat them, but I would hate them for,
Yeah.
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 At
So
least it was his hand
anyways,
and not like his leg. But yeah, I mean, fuck this guy, but come on,
yeah,
guys.
but he was
Like,
just a kid back then. Well, we don't know what
yeah.
age he lost it, but whatever. Anyways,
Yeah, but
so
still.
yes,
Anyways,
that was mainly to point out that the last name a little
might not have
hazy,
been Stump.
but yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But again, it had gotten into some type of written record, and
Yeah.
I didn't look into like the full entire story because it is pretty in depth. But
Yeah.
basically, he wound up being accused because it's from what I could garner, it sounds like he was found. I mean at the scene of
Uh-oh.
crime
Oh no.
where they did expect
Stumpy. Come
Stumps.
on.
Step out of there,
Stump.
Stumpy. And, they did, admittedly, the townsfolk expected to find a wolf because, again, a string of murders, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
But instead, they found a man. And interestingly, like again, they saw a man, he fucking booked it. But all of
Yeah.
the like claims around
Sus.
town had been that the townsfolk had been seeing with more and more regularity over the years a wolf that had been missing a paw. So, who in town is missing a paw?
Uh,
Little Peter Stump. You think the other wolves called the other wolf Stump?
Stump. In wolf language.
Yeah,
Oh
this
man.
really just
No,
sounds like
because
a lot of
because
ableism.
animals are a lot kinder to each
Yeah,
other than humans are to other humans. So no, I
yeah,
don't think the wolf called them that.
yeah.
That's insane though. What God, shit like that makes me like you just want to go back in time and like shake these people like
Yeah, come on.
coincidences. Yes, I know he was a murderer, but like Just
Yeah.
murder. Like, it's bad enough that he's a murderer. You don't have to
Yeah.
also paint him as some like fictional demonic animal just
Again, they
because
like
another
couldn't
animal is missing a paw.
they couldn't
Animals lose
like
paws all
wrap
the time, I'm
their
sure.
brains around
Well,
the
yeah, because like
existence of a
serial killers
multiple
didn't,
murderer.
yeah, they like didn't really exist back then. They're like, no one is this
Right?
crazy.
No one could be this evil. Ignore all of the wars that we've ever fought of all
Yeah,
history
well,
and time.
yes,
No one that was
exactly.
righteous though.
No one's ever killed this many without a religious or political cause behind it.
Backing. And a
Yeah.
werewolf, that's demonic.
Yeah.
So, you know, they were like, let's not just assume, let's ask some follow-up questions, you know? How do you ask
Hmm.
some follow-up questions to the accused this day and age? You put them on
Torture.
the rack. Yep.
Oh,
Put them on the
oh,
stretch rack right
nice.
away. Where
But it's
he
okay.
did.
Innocent until proven guilty, though.
It's chill. We'll just say sorry if you're wrong. Like if we were wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
be broken, but like, sorry, just take it.
Sorry,
Take our
you're
apology,
alive.
okay?
Yeah.
So he did, and we should note the entire torture situation that, could be coerced, but
Hmm.
he did confess to practicing black magic since he was 12, which is when he became buddies with the devil, who his ability to become a werewolf is that, or how that became about, is that the devil gave him a belt that when he put it on, he became a werewolf. But interestingly, that belt was never found. But,
Oh, okay.
apparently that happens.
But that's
And
how it
then
worked. Interesting. I didn't know that was the way you could do it too. Nice. You
there's
didn't. I don't think you
lots of
had belt on
options.
your list of ways to become
No,
a.
this was a one-off. The
Yeah.
devil was like,
Yeah.
people lose it all the time.
I need
It's
something
so hard.
new. Yeah.
Yeah, people, their waist size changes. The belt suddenly doesn't fit. They throw it into a fucking river.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This one isn't working for us. Yeah,
He
we're
has a
gonna need a different
prototype.
thing. Hmm.
So then after that, he spent the next 25 years eating the flesh of goats, lambs, sheep. But then, under more threat of torture, he goes, oh, yeah, I also killed and ate 14 children, plus 2 pregnant women and their unborn babies. Oh, and one of those 14 children was my son, by the way.
What?
So,
Were there records for all these people being dead? Or
I don't know. I think it is like the vibe I got is that, like, yes, the story was sensationalized, but that, like,
he
this
still
man could
did
have been a
something?
multiple murderer, which,
Yeah.
I mean, he also did, and then I think it was low-key kind of proven to incest with his daughter. So, he's like not a good guy, I would
No, he's
say.
not. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. So, of course,
yeah.
because the 1500s, then his daughter also got punished for it because, of course, they blamed her for the incest, which is,
I did not know it used to happen like that.
yeah, which is really fucked up.
That's ridiculously unfortunate and
Yes.
upsetting.
Yes, his daughter was named Sybil, and then I guess he also had a mistress,
Sybil.
which they
Jeez, dude.
also then punished because I guess unlawful.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
God.
So then to Peter, they put him on a wheel where his skin was torn off, and then he was burnt, and then all of his limbs were broken. And then again, he was finished. The job was done. He was burnt alive, and they put his head on a pole as a warning sign to future werewolves. So I think that was the main part highlighted in this little pamphlet situation.
And that is where the idea of the modern scarecrow comes from.
And now, kids, and our third reason for this being a Halloween episode, scarecrows.
Wait, what the fuck? How insane is that torture method? That's crazy. The things that they did back then, and again, not saying that this dude didn't deserve everything, I guess it came to him, but there is a level of like barbarism that like is just insane about spinning someone on a wheel and like forcing their skin to rip off, like just
and
hang
then
him,
breaking
just
their
drown
bones,
him, just
burning them
they killed him like
times.
8 times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's like they were trying to make sure that the wolf wouldn't come, like that this guy will not come back as a
Yes, they're
ghost or
burning the
something.
demon or something. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel
And
like
then
that
cutting
probably
his head
was
off
their
too.
reason.
That's crazy.
They're
It's
all
like how
just
George
bored.
Washington didn't want to be buried for like a week or 2 weeks until after he died because he was afraid
Yeah,
of bodies rising from the
exactly. He was
grave.
like,
They're like, all right,
fuck
we got to kill
no.
him 8 times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just in case he has a strong demon. Yeah, so
That's
again, like
crazy.
I again only read the Wikipedia page and again had like kind of heard of him before. So if folks know more about this, comment
Yeah. Let
below.
us
I
know.
think, yeah, especially with like the historical accuracy of it, because again, I'm pretty sure the pamphlet like was dramatized, but like the torture definitely was probably kind of more real. And I mean, he possibly killed people. Again, the police work of the time, investigation, loosey
Non-existent,
goosey,
pretty
coarse
much. It was like a
confession.
community effort back then. They didn't even
Yeah,
have like
mob
police.
mentality was real big.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if someone knows the actual full lore and like historical accuracy, I would love to know
I want
because
to
I
know.
was just fascinated by this of like, yeah, I mean, I guess I was like, oh, people think werewolves exist because they would eat the cattle, but then it being like, oh, no, they couldn't explain people like, finding a body that's just absolutely like torn apart, looks
Yeah,
like it's been
decimated.
eaten. It must be a wolf, but we don't see wolves. So it must be
Yeah.
a werewolf. A
A
man couldn't
human
have
in
done
disguise as a
this.
wolf. Yeah.
Yeah. Or again, on the flip side, being like, but we
Convenient.
prayed and the wolves can't be doing this. We're very scared of wolves. So it must be a man, but men can't do
It
it.
was
So
the
werewolf, like
devil.
this like
Yeah.
red yarn
Yeah.
situation of the times was really crazy. And I would love to read a book diving into all of like the background of this lore,
Same.
which I'm sure exists. So
This stuff like this makes me wish that we had time to do crime capers still, or that we did more
yeah.
crime capers again, because I would just love to talk more about stuff like this on the side
Yes,
for
like
like little
old
bonus.
timey, like
Yeah, because there's so much. Yeah, I mean, like vampire stories, werewolf stories, witch
yes,
stories, just all types of
yeah,
like creepy shit that comes up in our cartoons a lot too, and ties it all
yeah,
together. So,
such as
God,
right now,
I'm
basically.
intrigued, and like this moment right here.
Yep. So yes, back to courage
Good
and the
rundown.
computer.
Great rundown, though, by
Thank
the way.
you,
That was excellent. Yeah.
thank you, thank you. So yes, we learn that this is a weremole. If you get bit, you become one. You transform on the full moon with a
Mhm.
bloodlust to eat rabbits and humans, or transform them into another weremole. But there's a cure.
Oh,
The computer tells Courage that he needs to get some hair from the mole that like bit the afflicted person. So like the origin, patient zero, essentially.
okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
And then feed it back to the afflicted or like give it to them and it'll cure it. So get like the patient zero hair, give it to the sick person, that'll cure him.
Yeah.
So it's weremole hunting
Mm.
time.
Yeah.
And how, you might be wondering, will Courage find this weremole? It's
I
simple.
am wondering a bit.
And it's actually, now I think about it, another reason, our fourth now reason this is a Halloween episode, because Courage
Amazing.
puts on a little costume of a
Oh.
little neon bunny.
Oh.
It is
Oh.
one of the cutest.
Oh.
Yeah, I know he becomes bait.
Okay, good. Yeah, I
His
was like, that's
costume is
adorable,
bait.
but Courage, do you know? Okay, good. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
that's cute, as
But
long as he's aware of what he's putting himself
oh,
into.
I mean, he is shaken in those onesie boots that he
Oh,
currently
I
has
can
on.
imagine him just looking around
And
like
it's like the
any
full
minute
onesie with the
now.
little hood up into big old ears and a big fluffy
He
tail. And
stole my
it's
heart.
one of the cutest things I've
Oh,
ever seen Courage do.
little
Um,
Courage.
but yes, he is at risk of
Bait.
dying very any second.
Okay.
Yes,
He's a
correct.
good looking meal. Mm-hmm.
He is sitting there, you know, thinking he could ride Shai Hulud, for he is. He's
Ah,
on Akaili.
he's not a guy.
He's getting
Yes.
out his hooks.
Oh, yeah.
So yes.
Awesome. And Courage could, honestly.
Wadib,
You're so
Wadib.
right. What do you? Yeah.
So yes. Anyways, it's fucking adorable him standing there. So while Courage is out there being bait, meanwhile, inside Eustace, he's found his mallet and
Oh,
he
good.
is
Finally.
up in their bedroom, him and Muriel's bedroom, when, speaking of Muriel, she erupts from the floor below And
That's right.
basically, yep,
She's
that's
still
her.
doing
She
that.
launches, if you will. And they basically start
Horrifying.
playing whack-a-mole or whack-a-weremole, if you will.
Whack-a-Muriel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whack-a-muriel. Oh, that's even better. Nice, 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 nice.
But also, yikes.
They're all bad. That's
Yeah,
okay.
that's
We
true.
know this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's like popping out of the floor. He hits, she's down. She pops out somewhere else on the floor. He hits, she goes down, back and forth here.
Mm-hmm.
So, back with Courage at the same time, we see the same like dirt mound getting closer, another that weremole approaching, and it jumps out and bites Courage's foot, which sends, of course, Courage screaming. And this mole, it's fucking strong. It starts shaking Courage around like a big cat trying to break the neck of its prey. Like,
oh my God.
shaking.
Violent.
So, where
like
Jaguar.
a rag doll? Oh my God. Where
Yeah,
Jaguar? In the middle of nowhere.
I have to tell you, this is like a 3-minute scene of Whack-a-Muriel, Courage getting shaken around by his foot. Whack-a-Muriel, Courage getting shaken around by his foot. Just back and forth.
Going back and forth. Just like, this is just chaos, gang. Like,
no one's going to survive this.
The director at this point is just fucking with us. Like,
how are they going to get out of this? How is our hero going to escape?
This is horrifying if you haven't told yet, or if you haven't realized yet.
Simply velocity. At some point, Courage just flings out of his costume due to the velocity of this weremole flinging him around.
Oh God, which is brutal.
Yeah, the weremole doesn't notice that Courage has flown out of it.
Okay.
And Courage he had some layer between him and the weremole, so Courage wasn't fully bit.
That's what I was about to ask. Okay, good.
Yep, no, it was a very fluffy onesie. Nice. And so Courage uses the distraction of it flinging just the costume now around and sneaks up behind it and plucks one single hair from its butt before sprinting back inside and leaving it to eat the costume.
Yeah.
And inside now, back in the bedroom, things have also progressed, but very poorly for Eustace as we find him. Yeah, exactly. Take it or leave it. He is now cornered by Muriel, who's growling at him. Her teeth are out. She's ready to chomp. And Courage at this point runs into the room. He jumps onto Eustace's shoulders and drops the hair into Muriel's open mouth. And she, I know, pretty gross. Yeah. And she collapses. She starts choking and like screaming on the ground before kind of like rolling. She's like thriving around on the ground before rolling back down one of the holes in the floor.
Ooh, ow.
Back down, yes, into the living room. And so slowly, Eustace and Courage tiptoe back downstairs, peeking their heads down around the stairwell to see if she's okay. And we just see her rocking in her chair, watching TV. And we see her turn around again. She goes, Courage, Eustace, where have you been? You've missed the entire show. And she smiles. Her teeth are normal again. And so Courage, of course, just happy wags his little tail, hops right into her lap.
Yeah. Are there still like holes everywhere in the room?
There's holes fucking everywhere. And I'm glad you asked that. And I'm glad you
have another question, but
shrugged about Eustace, because right before Eustace can say or do anything shitty about Muriel just being like, where have you been? Another hole erupts from behind Eustace.
Oh no.
And where Vindaloo leaps out from it, bites down on Eustace, and rips Eustace down into the basement, where we hear the same screams and silence, and that's the end.
Right after I asked about the holes, I was going to say, whatever happened to Dr. Vindaloo? Well, he's eating. That's what happened. He's having dinner.
He's doing fine.
He just ate dinner. Yeah, he's thriving, actually.
So
amazing.
That's it.
So good. Great job.
Yeah, it's a classic.
I cannot wait to rewatch this one. That was because I absolutely forgot how it ended. I just remember the weremole And I think what I remembered the most was that scene where he's like flinging Courage around and stuff and just being like, oh my God.
Courage
This is
simply
horrible.
dislocated a paw by now. He's become stumpy.
No, we love him too much to call him that.
Exactly.
Oh,
so
wow.
It was fun. It's a great classic.
Great. It is. It's a great
classic
one.
Courage. I think it's called Night of the Weremole.
That's right. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow. And also, like, imagine of all the animals you could think of to make like a were animal. Like, I wonder what the discussion to land on mole sounded like. If they were like, we can't do a wolf. That might be too scary for kids. Cats, kids like we already have cats, and a mouse is not big enough. These moles have been tearing my backyard up lately.
You know what I would love to do? Kill them.
Moles, you say? We're writing.
Say more.
Good,
tell me more.
Good. Yeah.
So we know.
Like, what a choice.
Writer's room just going off
Unhinged.
in Courage always. So yeah, it could have been anything.
For the best reasons. Amazing.
Yeah, there you go.
I loved your werewolf rundown too, because I am a big fan of werewolf lore and like movies and stuff like that. And the whole time I wanted to jump in with just like my little tidbit on werewolves. I was I'll let Grace finish and then we'll say. It's nothing, it's like no information or anything. Like you said like everything. No, you said everything about them. The thing about werewolves is that in our family, me and Austin and Aaron, my siblings, we like to do this random thing when we're together. When it's getting ready to be a full moon and we're like out at night at something, we'll just be talking and chatting and stuff. And then we'll just stop in our tracks and like look at the moon. And then just like keep doing what we're doing. Like, never mind, just kidding. So yeah, love of werewolves. Wow. Just it's always funny just to see like people will stop. We don't like just do it anywhere. Like we do it when we're with people, and like our friends will look at us like, there they go again.
Start their shit again.
Just the birds turning into werewolves.
The birds transforming.
Here we go again.
Classic. Keep walking. They won't bite you. It's fine. Keep it moving.
Kidding. They're just super weird. We don't know why we're friends with them.
Act like we don't know them right now. They'll stop in a minute. Wow, iconic of you three. And unsurprising.
That was it. That was it. Which is why I was like, you know what? I will wait till the end because she's actually saying really cool, interesting stuff right now and is about to talk about an actual murder case.
This is why it took so long for your mother to follow us on Instagram and YouTube.
Because we usually lead with those kind of stories. Yeah. She's like deleting her comment on her video.
That was to mess up my algorithm.
Yeah. Great. Awesome. Yep. Great job. So, I can't wait to watch this one.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yes. And between now and next week, where Alexis will be doing the next 2 weeks of our Halloween arc, who should our listeners and viewers tell about this show?
I think you should tell a wolf trainer. I'm sure they have those out there, right?
Probably. Like wolf sanctuaries exist.
Yeah. So something like that. People who protect wolves. We've got to end the negative stigma. They actually are beautiful, majestic creatures, and only a few of them actually like eating human flesh. So like your odds are pretty good around them.
And there's always a wheel to turn someone on if they end up being a werewolf and have their skin fly off. So like just a bad couple.
Yeah, so it's cool.
There's a solution. Even if You're fine.
Exactly. Silver Bullet, is that werewolves? No, that's vampires.
I think it might also be werewolves. I think there's some crossover.
There's a connection too between which I think I talked about one time in a vampire episode, but I was like, we'll talk about werewolves another day. You remember that. That's why you did this episode.
Yeah. That's why, I recalled that exact thing. Yes.
Yeah. So who should they tell?
I think after that, you should tell your weird friend who acts like they're transforming into a werewolf every time there's a fucking full moon.
A bunch of people are going to start DMing.
Let me group text Austin and Aaron real quick.
Watch out, full moon tonight.
Yeah, let them know. They'll probably love our spooky arc.
They will.
Yep. Cool. Yep. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week.
Till then.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.